Hello, so now we'll focus on actually getting the data onto a map. And the software I'm using for this is QGIS. And QGIS is open source, so it's available to every one of you. Now, I've already opened QGIS. If you want to download it, you can have a look on this downloads.qgis.org here. And they are saying that the version that they are currently running is 3.10. Mine is slightly earlier, but it will look exactly the same or very, very similar to what you'll be getting. Anyway, if you look at your screen, what you will see is the recent projects you were running. So these are some of my projects that I've done recently. If not, you will just see this part blank. But what we are interested in is actually a blank new map. So if you go to the left top corner, you'll see this one, the blank page. So click this one and you'll be given just a new project. Now, there's a lot of panes over here and over there and on the bottom, so it might be a bit confusing. But in fact, what we are doing is something quite simple. So you don't have to worry about most of your options and tools, etc. here. Just follow what I am doing and you'll be just fine. So we spoke about coordinates, so longitude and latitude, and you can see them just in here. We have a scale of our map, magnifier, and a couple of others information. Now, if we want to add our data onto this blank project, what you can do, if you see this pane, you can click this one. So it's at the limited text layer. But if you can't see this one, it's actually a hidden option. So you go to layer, then you can click add layer and add the limited text layer. And this is because CSV file is actually a text layer delimited by commas. So we navigate to, you click here, you navigate to where your file is stored. So I put mine on a desktop and I called it all clubs. So let's choose this one. And now it got auto-populated, but let's go through all those information. So file format, we know that it's a CSV file. That's why we save it as CSV and we select this one. Recorded and field options. So here, if you have some kind of title on your CSV, or any other information, you can actually discard some lines. So if you see sample data at the bottom, you have club name, club number, all the column names. But if you try to discard it, you actually see that Solent speakers become the column name. We don't want to do this. We want to stick to club name, and then we have Spinnaker and Solent and others. So first record has field names, detect the field times. Yes, you want to have those ticked. They are pre-populated for you automatically. Now, most often when you have X and Y fields, that's longitude and latitude, it will automatically pick. But sometimes there might be something different. So you maybe just want to check whether you have the right columns populated in here. Now, geometry CRS. CRS stands for Coordinate Reference System. And this one is quite important because in cartography and in GIS, we use CRS to define where objects are. So basically, when you translate or when you try to represent something that's in real life on a map, you need to use Coordinate Reference System. So it geographically locates where things are. Now, the coordinates that we are having from Toastmasters is in WGS84. And why do I know this? Because WGS84 is the coordinate reference system that's used by Google Maps, by Bing Maps, probably by your GPS if you use some. So I know that Toastmasters use Bing Maps to locate the clubs, and thus it will be WGS84. And WGS84, it can distort some regions, so southernmost or northmost regions. So we are going to map UK, so see it's a bit disturbed. But we don't have to worry, we can change this later. Now, sample data, you see what we've chosen. So we have district, area, division, club number, club name, lat long. So we are happy with this. We click add. So you can see some points popping out here. And then we can close this one. And we have all our clubs that we have in District 91 on our map now. However, it still doesn't look like a map because it has no background. And QGIS is quite clever. It knows that you need some background map behind. And if you want to do so, you can find it. If you go to plugins, so just left click, you find manage and install plugins, left click again. It takes you to the directory of all plugins that were written for this particular software. And you can see there's quite a lot. You don't have to worry about many of them, but you just go and find quick. Yeah. And then you go find quick map services. Then you have information about this plugin, and then you will click install plugin, which is just here. I've already installed it because I use it all the time, but it's very, very simple. So if we, let's say you go for the next one, this one is not installed, you just click install plugin and it will be with you in an instant. So quick map services. We close it. It's still not here, but it's installed within the software. So if you go to web, you unwrap quick map services, and then you have a choice. I usually go for OSM, which stands for OpenStreetMap. I recommend you put that in your search on the internet and learn about OpenStreetMap project. But click this one. And this is a very standard map. But as you can see, it's a bit distorted. It's not really focused. And this is because WGS84 is not really designed for Great Britain. It's designed for the world. So what you can actually do, if you go in this one, EPSG 4326. This is like an ID code for WGS84. If you left click on this one, you will see some options popping in. So project properties, CRS. So this is all the information, all the options for your map project. If you find this one, pseudo Mercator 3857, and apply this one, it looks so much better. And the reason it is, it takes into account that the actual shape of Great Britain. So we'll probably stick to this one. Now we see the background map, which is OSM. We see our clubs. But this file is still a CSV file. It's not really GIS, even though you can do some operations on this. But you want this as a GIS file. So what you can do is export it. How you want to do it is by right-clicking on all clubs. So you select this, and then you find export and save feature as. Now you can have multiple formats. It's not like there's one specific format for GIS. So every software can use something different. But a very common one is Esri Shapefile, and this is what I usually go for. So select Esri Shapefile. Here you can put file name. But before you do that, you probably want to press a left click on 3 dots and navigate to a folder where you want to put it. So my default is desktop, and this is probably where we want to have it. So I'll call it all clubs. Oh, I can't spell all clubs. And let's say it's January 2020. So you save, you get your directory. Remember the CRS, it's mentioned that it's WGS84, it's encoding. This is actually pre-populated. You don't have to worry at all about this. So when you select your directory, you put your name on it and select CRS that's also going to be there for you. You just press OK. And there you go. It's on the map. Now, if you left click on all clubs, which is our CSV file, and then right click, you can remove the layer. And the reason we are removing this one is not to get confused too much, and it's actually just easier to have those.